Okay, it is. It is the time for lunch and learn. And today we are talking with Treasure, who is about becoming an international backend engineer in a fintech, no less. That's the talk for today. We're doing some quick self-introductions to give you an idea why we're here and why you should be spending time with us this morning, midday, afternoon, maybe even evening. Lunch and learn. Well, the learn part is, of course, about sharing experiences with Microverse, with the Microverse Alum, and obviously with the world that is connected to us here on the chat. So I'll make a start. My name is Matthias Feist. That is a German name. I am from Germany. I've lived in Japan. I've lived in the UK for a very long time, and I now live in Ireland. So for me, it's more afternoon tea and learn. My background is as a careers professional. I've been helping people from all over the world help find first, second roles throughout careers throughout their lives, worked with people from literally hundreds of different countries. So Microverse is really one of the kind of most amazing places for me because I get to do this amazing work as a career coach, but also I am the Alum lead for Microverse. Now, what's an Alum lead? Well, Alums are people who have gone through a program and who are going out into the world, into jobs, into their careers. And my job is to build a community and hold that community together and help people as a career coach then when they're moving from job to job, because we're not just interested in getting you through the program, we want you to be successful throughout. So yeah, you'll never get rid of me because I'll be there waiting for you at the end of the program and I'll be helping you find your way. We are joined here today by Treasure. So I'm going to hand over to Treasure so he can give a short self-introduction.
Yeah, I'm Treasure Kabareebe, based in Uganda. I'm a software engineer, currently working as a back-end engineer for Whitebox, a fintech company based in Germany. And yeah, I've studied with the Microverse before. It was part of building a career as a software engineer, and I'll be glad to share insights and also details about my journey and anything that would motivate any upcoming or micronauts, or even those that are they could already be in the industry and they need some motivation from hearing about someone else's journey. Yeah, I'm actually glad to be with you today. And yeah, other than working as a full-time backend engineer, occasionally I'm mentoring actually junior developers and also career changers, those that are interested in making the switch into tech. So this is something that I'm happy about, and I look forward to all your questions. Thank you.
Oh, this is amazing. Thank you very much. Yeah, we need to talk about that German connection there now, don't we, later? And with us is Steve, who is a current Micronaut. Do you want to introduce yourself, Steve?
Yes, I would be absolutely overjoyed to introduce myself. So yes, I'm Steve. I am from the Bahamas, beautiful islands of the Bahamas, a small little dot in the world, but I'm happy to come from there. I've been a part of Microverse from 2021, May, more or less. And the best part of Microverse for me is everyone here. Microverse is a great family. They proved to me that the internet's not such a lonely place. There are actually authentic people out there who are willing to do good for others and realistically have their best interest at heart. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to learn more about your journey, Treasure. And let's get started. I'm excited.
Yeah, we've really kind of bolted through our introductions. This is pretty amazing. So yeah, I mean, we may or may not have been doing a little bit of a warm-up session here already, so we know what's going to happen next. So right, I did see. I have to pick this up from the chat though. Someone was getting some Bruno Mars vibes from Treasure. So oh, is it? Oh, is it? Yeah, is it Treasure? It's going so fast. So well, here we go. Steve, you can find it out. Right. Okay. So the way this is going to work is we're basically going to have a chat. One of us occasionally is going to have a view onto the chat. I think Steve's going to have a look, and we have the wonderful Jackie Alves with us as well, who is checking out the chat and making sure that things are being brought to our attention. So questions from the floor can be taken. Steve, can you please have a look at that? Because yeah, we obviously want to make sure that you get the best out of your time with Treasure. Right. Okay. I have prepared a couple of questions, so I'm happy to make a start. Really. Let's go to the beginning. Life before Microverse, if that's even imaginable. But Treasure, can you tell us a little bit about your life before Microverse? What did you do, and were you always interested in tech?
Well, yeah, I've had an interest in tech for a very long time now. I actually acquired a bachelor's degree in computer engineering, and I graduated in 2016. After that, in Uganda, the first role that I could get on was actually tech support. So I was working at a school as a tech support specialist, doing things like maintaining their network, installing operating systems on computers, yeah, helping teachers be able to use their computers right, and yeah, but it wasn't as exciting as I'd expected it to be. I like to help people, yes, adopt tech solutions to their daily life, but I didn't find it that challenging. And also in terms of actually financially, I would say it wasn't as rewarding as I had hoped the tech industry would be. Yeah. So, but every once in a while, I would because of the background that I had with computer engineering, I would code. Like my final project, I was coding. Yeah, but it was more academic and not professional. Yeah.
That's an interesting insight, because I've actually seen quite a few people going through the program and SES career coaching clients as well, who have often a bit of a teaching background. Looking at you, Steve, I think. And often quite a few people taking also the route through basically hardware, tech support, and so on. So it's really interesting to see that there are parallels, and possibly in the audience, we might have some people there as well. Also, I'm picking up on a question from the chat. And just a shout out to Melissa in the chat, who's asking about mentoring. We'll pick up on this. So don't worry, it's not forgotten. It's on our list of questions to ask. We will talk about Treasure's mentoring. Right. Log your questions. Yes, please use the Q&A feature of Zoom to log your questions, because the chat is just flying away. Right, so let's get back to the questions. Treasure, how did you find out about Microverse?
Around 2018, I wanted to make use of my tech skills, or to explore the tech industry a bit more, because as a tech support at the school I was working at, it wasn't that challenging or exciting anymore at that point. So there is and at that time Andela was quite popular this side in Uganda, and yeah, I met met a friend actually through Andela. We were at a meetup with the Andela Learning community, and this friend told me about Microverse, and she actually also later joined, and we went through the program together. But she's the one that actually just told me about Microverse. She was like, "Have you heard about Microverse?" I was like, "No," and she didn't give me any more details. She just told me, "Go and check it out, then you tell me what you think." So yeah, just like that, when I got home and got to the website, looked at Microverse, and yeah, it was exciting. From there, went to applied, and yeah, joined Microverse.
I think actually in our pre-conversation, Steve had a quite interesting question on that, because I think you pretty much jumped into the action right.
Yeah, Treasure is on a roll.
Do
But
you
that's
remember your
all right.
question on this?
Okay, so I had a few interesting questions for you, but one that I would like to know is how closely does the Microverse program structure from application to the final module resemble the actual onboarding and the day-to-day of the real job? I'm very curious.
I have to say that from you notice from application, even just to get into Microverse, you're going to work on coding challenges, and that is I would say that is like the standard for all interviews. You're going to get some technical questions, some challenges to work on. So the fact that you go through that even at the very start with Microverse is a good thing, a big plus to Microverse. And the aspect about working remotely. Personally, my current role, I'm working like 100% remotely, and I find that it takes actually getting used to. You have to learn how to be effective when in such an environment. And through Microverse, I think that is what I was building towards, the entire learning journey, everything, being able to do things remotely. It gave me a level of independence as a professional. So that is the other plus that I can highlight. Then the other important aspect that I found quite useful, even in this new role, is pair programming. Through Microverse, you learn through pairing with other developers, other micronauts, and as a way of getting me onboarded, I on my new role, I've actually been pairing with the engineers, the fellow engineers at the company, and I find that being able to relate to them, communicate effectively in this setting, has been very helpful in helping me understand the company, learn a lot of things within a short time. So in terms of pair programming, that whole process, going through pair programming, communicating effectively in a remote environment, these are all attributes that I attach to my experience with Microverse.
All right, so that's great news for me. So you mean that over the past several months, all of that pair programming, all of that structure, discipline, and building projects weekly, all of that's going to pay off for me real soon.
Definitely.
All right.
And I can confirm that again from a career coaching perspective. It's so much easier to argue for your case for an employer in a recruitment process if they're asking you, well, have you worked with remote teams before? Yeah. Have you pair programmed before? Yeah. Do you know how to deal with a Kanban board? Yeah, you do, because all those things from the start you are doing as if you've been thrown into a developer team, because you are in a developer team from day one onwards. So I think actually even a little bit earlier, because Steve has been posting busily on the kind of pre-program activities, and so everyone keep an eye on the chat. Steve is posting some proper gold in there. Links and useful information for you all. Okay, also Nathaniel, remember Q&A, please put your questions into Q&A if it's possible, because the chat is moving quite fast. Yeah, but I also wanted to pick up on the level of independence that you talked about, Treasure, because you said that in your last part and in your last answer, and that you had to learn how to work remotely, because yeah, many of us who've done other stuff before will find out that, yeah, it's a wonderful idea to work remotely and from home, but you've got to get out of this chair every once in a while. And I can only say, invest in a good chair. Right, but let's delve one more time into this. And I think we've got part of the answer already. But I just wanted to find a way to kind of make this more precise. Why did you really, in the end, choose Microverse? Why did you jump onto it when you saw it and you knew it was the thing for you? What made us special to you?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I remember it was a Saturday, and the reason as to why I had gone to this meetup, at this Andela meetup, I wanted to find ways of building, like crafting my, forging my career as a developer. So there were opportunities like, I think Google had partnered with the Andela to sponsor some people from Africa to go through learning how to build mobile apps, web apps. Yeah, so the idea was to find a way that would push me in the right direction as a software developer. Yeah. So when I looked at the Microverse website at that time, I saw the guarantees that were being given, like you study for free and you pay only after you've acquired a job. To me, that was the exact thing I was looking for. Yeah, I looked at it instant, actually went through it several times, and I thought I was looking for the catch. I was like, how is this possible? Because even I had started thinking about looking for like other schools that maybe I could go maybe study something. Some friends had even suggested masters, but the financial implication of that was high for me at that point. Looking at a school that is giving me the knowledge and that giving me even the guarantee that I only pay back when I start earning. That was completely unique to me about Microverse, and I was excited. I instantly had to apply.
Steve,
Yeah,
go for
man.
it.
After you said that, it got me thinking to a struggle that I had when I was trying to get into the program, going to that pre-course session. I was at that pre-course for at least 3 months. I wasn't sure I was ready. I'm like, I need to study more. So thankfully, I had some coordinators who were working in the pre-course. They were able to give me some guidance. But my question for you is, how do you know you're ready to join the program?
Personally, it was quite easier for me to know that to feel like I'm ready, because because of my technical background, and I had been coding casually, but also because I was coming from I was engaged in some meetups at that point. So looking at the coding challenges and the pre-course materials that were provided, they are more targeted to mostly people that don't have the background like I had. So it was easy for me to just jump onto them and work on the challenges. But either way, if I had found that they were tough, and I know colleagues that have a similar background that have actually tried them the first time and they didn't make it through and they had to try another time. Yeah, but I think in terms of feeling ready, I just went into it instantly. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for that. That's comforting because that's basically the advice that I received from my coordinators at Microverse. They were like, okay, just take the test. You can do it. And what's the worst that can happen? You're going to find out that, okay, I don't know that answer. Let me do a little bit more preparation. But the sooner that you just bite down and do the application process, the sooner you can level up. So yeah, that seems like that's exactly what you did. And I had
And
another question. I'm
oh,
so
Steve,
sorry,
go for
man.
it. Oh, that's
No,
fine. That's fine. We've got all the time in the world. No problem, Steve. Go for it.
I'm your Micronaut coding partner, so you have to bear with me. I know the journey. So what I want to know is, you basically answered a question for those persons who have a technical background. Someone like myself, I didn't have a technical background, so the advice for me was just do it. But for people like yourself who have that technical background, what are some of the things that you learned that you didn't know during the process of Microverse?
First of all, the entire idea of pair programming was new. The software development tools, things like GitHub, I hadn't gotten deeply into them. Actually, I learned Git well when through Microverse. I hadn't appreciated how it is a great tool for all developers, and also being able to communicate, because you notice that you might have a technical background, but communication, the way when you're studying with a coding partner and you need to always collaborate on a project, being able to communicate with each other is key to the two of you being able to finish up the project. So those are aspects that I found quite interesting throughout the program. And also the final bit would be, given that most people that have a technical background that they've acquired from maybe university, school, it's not the information that most likely the information you get from universities isn't updated. It doesn't directly apply to the job. Yeah, but with the experience at Microverse, they were taught, were actually taught the skills that we need to apply directly on the job. So I found those to be, it's more specialized and more relevant for a developer to focus on what is really required on the job.
Thanks a lot, Treasure.
Right.
Welcome.
We gotta move from the past into the future. Sorry, into the present now. The future will be right after the webinar. We got to move into the present now, because yeah, did your Microverse, you learned, you had, Steve really covered this brilliantly. So I'm just gonna, like throw away all the questions I'd prepared otherwise. So let's move into, I'm not bitter about this at all. No, I'm looking at the present now. So Whitebox, that's where you're working. Tell us a little bit about your current role at Whitebox. And the special angle that I wanted to start off with is, did you already have a special interest in fintech, or were you a little bit more flexible regarding the sector? Tell us a little bit about what Whitebox do, what do you do there, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
Okay, so at Whitebox, we actually manage your digital wealth. Yeah, so if you're interested in investing, we provide a more secure, a more secure way of investing your money. So this was actually an industry that I learned about just on the job. Actually, even when I started interviewing with them, I didn't know anything about the investments that are made that we get from the clients, and I didn't have an idea about the fintech industry. It could, maybe if I had some background in banking, I would relate to it so fast, but I didn't have any idea. Yeah, but I was open to learning, to learning any new thing about the industry, because actually the interviewer asked me directly if I'm open to, if I have any background in fintech, or if I'm open to learning. Yeah, but my background at that point was mainly in I would say e-learning, but at that point I was open to learning anything about fintechs, and how I can understand Whitebox even better. And I have to say that these first few months, I've learned a lot about investments, stocks, and yeah, it's an exciting industry.
It's a whole world out there indeed. But then that's a really interesting aspect, that when I'm looking at the chat, when people are asking questions about starting their careers or switching their careers, it's not an unusual thing to switch industries and I'm asking this question to look at it from a perspective of being a developer, which is your profession, but then the domain knowledge about specific industries that you can pick up, and in many ways picking it up along the way. And you will find out, just as a kind of general comment, people will find out that their previous experience will lead to a follow-on experience, which might be in a similar sector, and you might be traveling a journey throughout your career. And sometimes people start working just in a specialized area and get much deeper knowledge. But with a broad set of skills with which you would be, which you left the Microverse curriculum. So how can I start, please? Right away, Rudolph. No, you can't start right away, Rudolph. That'll all be sorted by Steve and Jackie. I just saw it popping up. I like this. I like your attitude. Keep that going. No, what I wanted to say is that with a set of key skills, you're often able to move from industry to industry domain. And at some point, you might find one that you find really interesting. So Treasure, you might be in fintech in a few years' time, or you may have moved on to something else. But yeah, fintech is obviously extremely exciting and has been for a while. And currently, mostly exciting in a good way. You don't want your finance industry to be too exciting. There was a question from the audience. So I know that there's some stuff going on in the chat, but someone did ask about support after the Microverse program. And I wanted to jump in on that because that's Treasure, because this is available to you as well. It's not just the first or second or third job that we're looking after. We want to build people's careers in the longer term, as I said earlier. So anyone who's gone through the program and has left it for their first job, you can come back and we will support you. We've been building up, that is my role as the Alum lead, is to build a career support program and a community. And it's a pretty vibrant community, I have to say. I've got a pretty smashing LinkedIn group, Slack channels, and obviously we support people in network and learn sessions on a fairly regular basis, whether you're a job searcher, full-time job searcher, or basically just want to keep your hand in the game. Right. What's the biggest learning experience, your biggest learning moment in Whitebox so far? What's the nail biter? What was the moment where you're thinking, "Ooh, okay, just learned something"? The teachable moment, as it's called in education.
Yeah, actually, the very first days I was a bit anxious, because yeah, this was a new domain for me, and even the terminologies used, stocks, bonds, trying to understand them so that you can relate to them even in code was a bit intimidating, I have to say. But when I started bonding with the engineers, pairing with the engineers, I was impressed because even the senior engineers would tell me directly that, we don't know everything about the product. We are all learning. And they told me that I don't need to even feel like I have dumb questions. I need to ask any question that comes up that I feel would help me onboard even faster. And that was quite, it made, I felt like very, I found it easy to ask questions. And if, up to now, I still have many questions that I ask, even when I'm given like a task to work on. I just ping another developer when I'm stuck, or even anyone that would share more insight on how I would solve the challenge. So it was a bit different from what I had expected. I expected maybe like hard requirements, like you need to deliver this by this time, and maybe you need to be independent. You cannot collaborate with other developers. Maybe they would be busy. I thought that maybe even they might not be, some of them might not be hard to work with, but it has been completely different. They've showed me that I'm not alone learning this the new code base, and also understanding the company itself and the product. They have done everything. Any question that I get, they are willing and eager to come through. So I think the main point that I pick from all this is that even when, depending on maybe the culture at Whitebox is amazing, but in my opinion, I feel like we need to be open about what we know and what we don't know. Don't feel insecure, because the more you're open about that, then you get help even faster. And yeah.
No, I'm waiting. I do want to jump in, but I'm going to wait until you're finished.
Okay. Yeah. So, and even I think the first challenge that I was looking at, I felt like I need to contribute to the code base so fast. I wanted to make sure that I add value to the code base, but I was encouraged to take my time to learn, ask questions, even on the first PR that I created. I was being guided all through. So the support was there, and I feel like it is something that we need. We don't need to feel like we need to work on any challenge independently. I think once you get out of the habit of being completely independent, you want to solve everything independently, not working in a team setting, then such an environment might be tricky for you. You might get stuck, and you can't, you won't get ahead, because it's hard to figure things out independently. So yeah, basically collaboration.
I think you're really jumping on. Again, I'm going to throw all my questions away, because there would have been two questions that you really encapsulated and really picked up on. And I'm going to start moving towards kind of finishing our questions. And then, Steve, I guess you're sitting on a whole load of Q&A questions, and we probably should spend the next 15 minutes on them. So you'll probably have to kind of read them out, and I'll hand over that to you. But I did want to really pick up on that last point, and that is the kind of you covered this already, the anxiety that when people go into a new job in a new sector with a new qualification the term sometimes gets thrown around as imposter syndrome, but let's just basically focus on the anxiety that we often feel. And just today I spoke with an Alum client who had pretty much exactly done what you have just mentored us to do, and that is to trust your colleagues, to ask about just basically give the others in your team a chance to show that they're human just like you are, and that they don't know everything either. And with this client, it was really interesting to see, just like you just said, as if you had mentored them, is to to open up about the things we don't know about. And it turns out other people are very willing to help you because you are all working together. I did say early on that there's something about mentoring and the mentoring that you do. So I assume there's a mentoring related question somewhere in the Q&A. I'm going to close the official questions now because I have the feeling we've got probably more than 15 minutes of questions in the Q&A. So Steve, do you want to share? I think there was something about mentoring early on, and I didn't want to forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Melissa, we didn't forget you. That's right. We remembered you. So, hey, Treasure, can you give us more info about mentoring junior developers and those changing careers and how we can reach out to you if interested in mentorship?
Nice. That's yeah, that's quite a packed question. How to reach out, and let me start with how to reach out. I think that is more direct. You can reach out to me via my LinkedIn. Actually, some of you have reached out already, and I'm actually happy and excited about giving guidance, encouraging other developers, people that are going through a similar journey that I've gone through. So yeah, I would be happy to connect with you via LinkedIn and yeah, even talk more when the time allows. And I've been mentoring various. I've done it professionally and even casually. Looking at how actually my main focus is to try and help mainly career changers to take away the pain or the challenges they face while they're trying to get into tech. Yeah. So as you might look at me as a very senior developer, but I'm not as senior as you may think. Sometimes when I'm mentoring, I like to use even the Microverse way, pair programming. We get on a challenge, we work on challenges together, and yeah, I've found that has been helpful. Sometimes I even learn some things from my mentees, and yeah, it's like a relationship that we both benefit from. So and also in terms of networking, I try to always stay connected to all those that I mentor, even when they get a job. Yeah, I try to stay connected because it's through networking that sometimes you get recommended to an opportunity, and yeah, so you're basically coming to the same industry. I don't plan on leaving the industry anytime soon. So it only builds me to connect with more developers and more developers. So yeah, for anyone that would like to connect with me via LinkedIn, I'll be happy to connect with you. And yeah.
It's one of the things that you just touched upon, and that goes for career changes as well. Again, from a career coaching perspective, you can work on the assumption that the majority of jobs in an industry aren't actually advertised. They're often popping up and the right person is around at the right time, or the right group of people knows about it because they're tapped into the industry and they're the first ones to apply. So being connected, being in a network, with Treasure being an incredible treasure for us today, because posting his LinkedIn connection, offering connection. That's exactly the spirit we want to foster and we want to see. And I think really, Treasure, you're living this, that the Micronaut community really tries to live. It's all about that. I often have said when I used to work with people in the classroom, look around you. These are your colleagues in a few years' time. These are the people who may be with you through your professional life. Look around you. These are the people you will be working with for many years to come. Steve, more questions. We've got 10 minutes or so. Let's make this happen.
Let's do it. So I have an anonymous question, but I think it's a really good one, Treasure. What help do you receive during the time of looking for jobs? And if a person gets a job after Microverse and then loses the job again, do they still receive help from Microverse? Heavy
Yes,
question.
yes, totally. I think that is one of the aspects that I love about Microverse. Before I even got to Whitebox as a back-end engineer, I was at a point where I needed to get a full-time job because my previous role was part-time, and yeah, I wanted a full-time job. I mentioned my worries to Microverse, and the eagerness with which they encouraged me to join and work with a career coach was very, very, very exciting. I actually, the only thing that I worried about was having the time to commit once I joined back to full-time job searching with Microverse, because I remember it's intense and you do it actively. It's not like you just apply and relax. You're always getting feedback from the career coach, and it's so that is the only thing that was on at the back of my mind. I was like, how would I be able to keep running my usual responsibilities if I approach this a full-time way? Yeah, I know there is a part-time job searching, but yeah, I have to say that along the way, and something that other students might worry about is when it comes to, let me talk about the income share agreement. I actually had to, I felt a bit worried that I had to pause it a bit for some months. Some months when I wasn't, I couldn't make the threshold that enables me to pay the required percentage. I would just communicate with the accounts team, and that they would just encourage me if I need help, that it would help me get a job faster if I worked with the career services team. So yeah, in terms of having Microverse on your side when you need to switch roles or when you've lost your job, I think it is not something that you need to worry about.
We're
Thanks
there.
a lot.
That's my job. That's what I do every day, and it's exciting. But I wanted to also let you all in onto a little secret. And the secret is that whenever a Micronaut gets a job, we all basically, well, we don't have a party, but we all cheer. We all know there's always excitement. There's always someone saying, I remember Treasure. I remember Steve. He struggled with this, but he ironed it out. He worked on that. She did this. There's always, and with the people who've come back a few times because they've moved jobs, because you can come back and say, right, next time for me, next step. It's always nice to see there's always a big family of people who've helped them on their way. And as I said, there's notification for us. Treasure has found a job. Steve has found a job. We all cheer, and that's one of the most delightful things of working at Microverse, because everyone is rooting for you. Steve, more questions?
Yeah, it seems to be very current, a common question rather. So it's still on the emphasis of when you got your first job. Do you remember specifically how many applications you put out before, that final one said, yes, you're hired?
Yeah, I remember the figure actually a bit. We use, yeah, we used Hunter. I think we still use Hunter to track our jobs. I applied to jobs, and many jobs I was rejected many times. I think to some extent even the rejections were better than those applications where you're just ghosted. You don't get any any response, and it wasn't easy. At some point, I felt exhausted, and it was hard to use Hunter to track those jobs. I was like, you look at the number of jobs you've applied to, I think by the time I got the job, some people might say that it's not, I didn't even apply enough, but they were coming to they were coming to around 1,000, I think, applications that I had made. But and it, but I have to say that in that whole process, something that might worry you is, okay, you keep thinking you're not good enough, you get rejections. But if something that worked for me was to keep in that whole challenging time, I keep polishing up my skills, because at that point you know that it's only going to take time. And the longer it takes for you to get the job, the more confident you become with your skills, because you keep practicing, building projects. So just that that time will, the right time will come. And like Erika must always say, that you just need one one employer to say yes, and that's it. So I think there's definitely, with all the employers in the world, at least one has to say yes. Yeah.
That's right.
I'll-
Every no
I'll-
is one step closer to
I'll
yes.
say something about that search in my end words, but I know there are people pressuring Steve in the chat. Don't forget about my questions. So I'm just going to step out of the way. Steve, push more questions. Go, go, go.
Yeah. So there's an interesting question. I'm not sure the first part you might be able to answer, but how is the transition from working physically to remotely? It's the first part. And then how do you prevent loneliness? I think that part is even more crucial. Working remotely, that is.
I have to say that I don't think I can go back to commuting. I have to, yeah, after moving to remote work, then I don't think I can go back. And the time I took to learn how to be a software developer, studying with Microverse, I built a work ethic that makes it easy for me to be more productive in a remote environment. And in terms of loneliness, I think sometimes it depends on one's personality. You find that some people are introverts, some are extroverts. But for the extroverts, they might be worried a lot about being lonely. But it depending on like there even for Whitebox, there are occasions that are organized by the company for us to reach out, interact with other people. Yeah, but I try to make it a point that at least on weekends I'm not working, so I can move as I please, I can interact, I can, yeah. So it's I think I feel like it is something that you might grow into, get used to, depending on your personality. For loners or introverts, it isn't a problem at all. I know developers that can stay indoors, they day in, day out, and they won't even complain at all.
Awesome. All right. I agree with you. Remote life is definitely where it's at. I've just recently heard someone say that working remotely is the new reality because you meet people for the first time in this environment now. You're helping people, communicating, sharing with your loved ones. So it really is becoming a great and efficient way to work. So the next two questions, I believe, go seamlessly into each other. So the first, thanks for sharing with us today. This is Nathaniel. Can you tell us what inspired your choice of working as a backend engineer over a front-end position? I'm curious about that too, actually.
I have to say that I'm actually full stack. I'm a classic Micronaut. I love React. I love Ruby on Rails. And in my free time, I'm working with Ruby on Rails now, but in my free time, you'll find me working with React. So I am more of an open person. I haven't really specialized in backend. I feel like, and again, that is a personal opinion. I feel like being a full stack developer, an all-rounder, is more challenging and engaging for me personally. Yeah, but if on a specific role I'm expected to work on the back end, I want to have the choice of comfortably working on the back end. And if I'm expected to work on the front end, I also want to have the choice not to limit myself, basically. Yeah, but I actually think if you specialize, you might enjoy the workplace a bit more, because you get to understand and work on what you want, and it's the domain is like scaling down on the domain. Yeah, instead of now this time you're working with the front end, this time you're working with the back end. Yeah, so it depends again on what someone might want. You might like the front end better, you might want the back end better, but personally I'm open. And yeah, prior, as I was going through the process, applying at Whitebox and other places, I was actually applying for full stack roles, back end roles, front end roles. Yeah.
Okay, so I suppose that speaks to the versatility that Microverse prepares you with. Being a full stack web development program, you can say, okay, I have some skills in front end, some skills in back end. I can, my gamut of opportunities just blooms and opens up. So the next question still has to do specifically with your professional choice. As a person interested in fintech, what's your advice on how to start the journey in fintech? This is from Kelvin.
Fintech, I would actually, I'm also a newbie when it comes to fintech. Right, yeah, right now, I might say, yes, be open. Maybe sometimes the first role you get might drive you to in that industry. Maybe after, since I've now gone into fintech, if it happens later on and maybe the next role they are interested in someone that has been working in fintech, that will help me. But when you're starting out, I would actually encourage to be open. Most of these industries, they are willing to train you about the domain that you're getting into. Yeah, they give you the time to learn and be comfortable with the domain before you can even write any code. Yeah, so yeah, I think fintech, in terms of, I feel like that question required maybe someone that has been in fintech for a while and wants to share some insight within fintech. But yeah, but currently I feel like I can only encourage you to be open about
That
the domain.
sounds very much like another lunch and learn session there to get someone from fintech there. I see like something like 70 questions still in the Q&A. So even if we just started with your questions, there's no chance we could finish it with your questions. And we're starting to run a little bit over time, but I'm in control of the session, so I can squeeze that, can expand it a little bit. But I think if we started on all the questions, I think we'd be here still tomorrow, lunchtime, dinner time, breakfast time. So I'm going to be the evil person who's going to slowly bring the session to a stop. What we can do, though, is, of course, we're recording this, and I think we're also keeping the questions. So I think there is some follow-up possible. Remember, when you get in touch with Treasure, please don't send him 25 questions. Send him a question or so. Just be soft on the good man, because he's been really, really a treasure for us today. Sorry, no pun intended. So I'm going to bring this to a close. I wanted to really go back to what you said earlier, about the many applications that you've sent. That is not, it's that was quite a lot of applications, but then this is also over the time that you have had left, I assume, throughout and after the program. But what it shows us is that applying for jobs is that's not a sprint. While your whole work life might be around sprints in an agile environment, applying is long distance running. Applying can be a marathon. But to make sure that you don't become alone feel alone and lost in it. That's what the community is for. That's why we are running our coaching sessions. That's why people can come back into the coaching sessions, because even when you're in a job and you're not liking it, it can feel lonely, and especially in a remote setting, can be very draining. But that's why we're building a community. And I can tell you, when I'm looking at the webinar, when we're doing this with our Micronauts who are with us on the program, it's just as lively as this. And I think poor Ariel, who runs these sessions normally, was just basically bombarded with questions just as much. So even when it all gets a little bit tough and lonely, that's what the community is there for. That's why we're building this community. And with every cohort of Micronauts joining us, and with every single Micronaut who gets a job, we become a little bit stronger. So I'm going to say thank you, Steve, for your great questions from the floor and the fantastic management. And Jackie, I see you're an absolute star in the chat. And thank you very much to Treasure. And if you've got any last pearls of wisdoms to share with us, here's your moment.
I want, just before you say it, to help you, I'm sorry, guys, to help you with that last thought of wisdom. What have you learned about yourself after coming to the Microverse program?
Thanks for that interesting question. I have to say that Microverse was one of going through Microverse actually requires a lot of commitment, and much as personally people say that I'm determined and committed to things when I decide to pursue them. But I think Microverse was a test for me. It's not, some people might think that it's actually an easy program to go through, but it is not. Totally not easy. It requires a lot of effort, and a lot of effort for the developer yourself, because working 8 hours every day, day in, day out for close to a year, and sometimes even more, it's something that requires a lot of commitment. And even for some people that already have responsibilities, like they have financial responsibilities, it becomes even harder, because you have people looking up to you and you need to stay on course. So Microverse showed me, I learned that I can commit to something and follow through. So it is something that I really I hadn't had any experience before that tested me that way and over such a period of time.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You get the heart emoji one more time. And well, join us. See us soon. See us at the next lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever your placeholder is, and learn. I've enjoyed this immensely. Steve, thank you very much. Treasure, thank you very much.
A pleasure.
I am now going to stop the recording, and I am going to close the session shortly thereafter. Thank you very much, everyone.
Cheers.